Okay, so let's go ahead and do a react video. Now, this video is from Coffeezilla, and this famous live streamer stole 500,000 from his fans. I'm a big fan of Coffeezilla, so definitely check this out. But let's go ahead and watch this.
The famous live streamer Ice Poseidon just scammed his followers for up to $500,000, and I'm going to prove it. He personally profited $300,000 by stealing money out of a crypto scheme that he set up. And when I confronted Ice Poseidon, who's better known by his real name, Paul Danino, about this scam, he was shockingly honest.
You want to keep the money that's not yours, that you took from the project, even though you failed to deliver.
I mean, I'm not really sure what you want me to say, but yeah.
I'm trying to get you to return the money because it's 100% still available and you could do that.
Yeah, I could give the money back. It is within my power. But I'm going to look out for myself and not do that. I don't know what else to say. That's just the most honest answer.
Now, these influencer scams are becoming more and more common, in part because of how easy they are to pull off. Ice Poseidon's scheme apparently took him only 2 weeks of work to set up before he apparently got bored with the project and decided to stop working on it and just took the money.
Like, seriously, how long did you work? I'm just curious.
Well, like you said, it was a fork, so I don't know, a couple weeks.
Couple weeks, $300,000. That's a nice chunk of change.
Now, I pleaded.
Damn, so it only took him 3 weeks to set up a coin and then make $300,000 and dip. That's so crazy. I think I'm doing the wrong subject here, the wrong category. Instead of GPU mining, actually doing crypto coins, pumping dumps. That'll be insane.
With Paul, or Ice Poseidon, to return the money that he stole, in part appealing to the guilt that he was taking money from his fans who were all much worse off than him. Ice Poseidon's response was that he didn't like how that made him sound.
I don't know if you're aware of the fact that your average fan has way less money than you. So you're just taking from poor people. Like, you understand that, right?
That is definitely not, that is not a good way to put it. That's a pretty shitty way to put it, my dude.
I think it's a pretty shitty thing to do.
From the very beginning, this story shocked me, but especially the twist at the end that I can't tell you about yet. But what I can tell you is that this is my most in-depth investigation yet into influencer greed, cryptocurrencies gone wrong, and the blockchain. Now, I know it's been a while, so let me remind you, this is the $10 Million Studio. I'm your host, Coffeezilla, the internet detective, and well, it's good to be back.
Damn, new intro. Pretty cool.
In order to understand what happened with Ice Poseidon, we have to rewind the clocks back. The story started when Ice Poseidon first got into crypto.
I invest in a lot of the shit coin, like a lot of the you put money in and then you sell in 20 minutes when it pumps.
Ice Poseidon first got into crypto just buying a lot of meme coins, but like many influencers, he quickly realized gambling on another person's coin is a sucker's game. The fast, easy money is actually in getting other people to gamble on your coin. Now, this moment is important. It's the moment Ice Poseidon realized what a gold mine it could be to start his own scam.
You're telling me I could create a CX coin and then people could buy it because I could say that the community is super strong and then I could sell it in 10 seconds and make $10 million. What the am I doing?
Ice Poseidon would later say that the clip you just watched was a...
For real, what am I doing? I could make a coin, sell it, make $10 million? Damn, what am I doing?
joke, and that the idea of him scamming his fans was just a bit he played up for the audience. But that core idea that he was missing out on a huge opportunity to make a ton of money was real, and it nagged at him. And pretty soon, he decided to start his own coin.
CX coin is the one to choose. I'm the founder of CX Coin. My name's Paul Danino, and I decided to make a community-driven token that I'm personally going to be a part of.
Now, almost immediately, this got a lot of attention. Obviously, given his past comments about sort of scamming people, people were understandably skeptical of this. And it came out right after Save the Kids, and you would have thought that myself and other people like Mutahar would have talked about this whole thing, but Ice Poseidon was working incredibly hard behind the scenes, which is something I need you guys to understand. He was contacting people like myself and pleading with us that he was just joking back then, and he was serious about this coin. He wasn't about to pull off a scam like Save the Kids. He was different. He even mentioned in live streams that Save the Kids was going to make what he was about to do much harder.
I know about the phase coin, Steezy. That's why I'm trying my best to be as transparent as possible. I've been working on this for like a month now, and I wasn't going to let that drama stop me, but it definitely makes it a little bit more difficult.
Ice Poseidon repeatedly told skeptics that he couldn't rug this coin if he wanted to. He had locked all his money up in a smart contract. He told me that in DMs. He said, "Don't worry, no rug here. All the money is locked." Lol. And look, I have to admit, I was busy at the time with some other investigations, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt, something that I obviously regret now. But periodically I would hear, complaints from his community that they thought something was off. But every time I'd go to Ice, he would immediately respond, just immediately. And he always gave me something that sort of sounded reasonable. And I later learned he was doing the same thing with everyone who said something negative about CX Coin. In fact, he got a Dextero article killed about CX Coin being a scam. I mean, I even asked him about this at the time, and he said this: Dextero article went up and then down. Did you see that? Yeah, I emailed Dex proof I wasn't scamming. So leaving that up, quoting a Twitter with 2 likes is a bit unfair to me. The point I'm trying to make is he was playing the PR game hard, telling everybody he was different. He even gave me his wallet addresses and told me to hold him accountable. He wasn't going to do anything shady. And everyone sort of felt like, okay, maybe he's doing something different. Maybe everything he's been saying was, just a joke.
Because, dude, if I see $1 million, I'm selling. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to be like, I'll hold for you guys, bro. I see $1 million in my portfolio, I'm out.
Not gonna lie, that looks bad, but I'm gonna be really generous here and give Ice the benefit of the doubt. That clip probably was a joke, and it was probably made before he was actually thinking about making CX Coin into a real thing.
Now, as time moved on, I and many other people sort of forgot about CX Coin until January, when I decided to take a break for a little while. And while I was off, I couldn't help but feel that there was something else going on. I just had a hunch I had to look back. So with my free time, I joined the CX Coin Telegram and started tracing back the wallets that Ice Poseidon had given me so transparently. And pretty soon I found out that, he gave me the wrong crypto wallets. Whoops. He gave me the DX Sale wallet instead of his personal wallet, which didn't tell me anything. For example, one of those things he didn't tell me was the fact that he took out $200,000 from the liquidity pool at the very beginning, which is directly at odds with what Ice Poseidon told me himself when I asked. He said, "Don't worry, all the money is locked up, except for $200,000, I guess." But it also hid another story, which was the misappropriation of the so-called marketing wallet. Now, according to CX Coin's own white paper, the marketing wallet was to be used exclusively to, quote, fund marketing campaigns in the cryptocurrency market. But in the Telegram, there was another story going on. Ice Poseidon was complaining that he had spent money on an ad campaign and it just hadn't helped. Quote, "We spent $53K on a BTOC and it hasn't really helped. The wallet is limited." He berated people who complained. "You want me to spend $30K on stuff that doesn't help? Or you want me to think about the best ways to use marketing money?" Exactly. You can't use the marketing money on, marketing. Instead, the money seemed to go somewhere else. Shortly after this coin launched, Ice Poseidon bought himself a brand new Tesla. This video was published July 24th, and as he says, he bought it a week ago, putting it right around the time that he launched the coin and realized he had suddenly gotten a lot of money to his name. But I'm sure all that money is locked up, right? Apparently not. And here's the interesting thing. The longer...
technically, he can use the Tesla for marketing. You just slap the coin on the Tesla.
Things went on, Ice Poseidon just sort of gotten more and more brazen with the way he used the money, right? At first, it was just sort of sitting around. Then he started sending it to cash out wallets. And eventually I calculated that there's roughly $250,000 missing from that marketing wallet. But that's not all. Ice Poseidon had tricked his followers at this point by getting them to buy into a vision of a long-term project. The whole idea was that this was going to be a donation platform for streamers and that it would take a while to build. He kept reiterating this again and again.
This is a long-term project. I'm trying to, we're making a donation platform, so I'm going to put that on my stream, and this coin will just be around for the entirety of my streams.
He said this a lot in the Telegram too. This is long-term, right? Thanks, guys. I assume everyone is in it for the long haul. Anyone who invests in something should know this was a long-term project, so 1 week is not going to see results. Now, later, I would find out this was a lie. Ice Poseidon did not see this as a long-term project. He actually gave up after 2 weeks. But I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself. The point is, Ice was getting brazen. He was increasingly intolerant of people who called him a scammer, saying they just hadn't done their research. He even brought my name into it, saying he had talked to Coffeezilla, maybe implying that I had cleared him.
And I've talked to these fucking people, Coffeezilla. I've talked to these guys. I showed them the coin. I showed them everything. And, you know, they're giving me the benefit of the doubt. So obviously they would call me out if it was a scam.
Now, I'm going to be honest, this really pissed me off. Ice Poseidon was using my name to try to imply that he was legit, when in actuality, he had just fed me false information about his coin and begged me not to talk about it. But amazingly, the final piece of this puzzle wouldn't fall into place until a few days ago. As I said, Ice had been getting more and more bold, thinking, I guess, that he had gotten away with this. And on January 22nd, 2022, using his wallet that he didn't tell me about, he drained the liquidity pool, essentially killing his own coin and taking the money from his investors. To be specific, he drained about 90% of the funds, which is about $300,000. Now, for important context, liquidity pools are how you get money.
That's why whenever a influencer makes a coin, don't put money in it. It's obviously a scam. It's crazy how this keeps going on, and yet it still happens. And it's crazy how influencers have that much power. This is a common thing, and it still happens. That's just crazy.
Money out of crypto, right? You can't just cash out a coin like CX coin, right? You can't buy groceries with it. Someone has to be willing to trade you that coin for something that, you know, sort of has value. So coins like this rely on something called liquidity pools, a big sort of pot of money. And what Ice Poseidon did, using the fact that he created this coin, he rug pulled 90% of that from his community, which meant that that's $300,000 that his investors would not be able to get back out. And at this point, I simply had had enough. This was a scam. He had lied to me from the beginning, and he had lied to others about it, and I wanted to confront him, but I couldn't let him know that I knew anything. Otherwise, he wouldn't pick up the call. So I simply told him I wanted to chat, and to my surprise, he agreed. And so on the 26th of January, we had the call you're about to see. And mind you, I'm expecting him sort of to deny everything, like who would take credit for this? Well, Ice would, I guess.
It looks like the coin got rugged. You know anything about that?
I mean, yeah. I mean, not rugged, but I mean,
Well, someone pulled all the liquidity out. That's a rug, right?
that would be a rug, yes. But there is still liquidity in there.
40K got left and 300K got ripped out or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, that
Big
is
rug pull.
exactly what happened.
Right. Are you laughing? I mean, is that funny?
I mean, no.
You're hearing this right. He's admitting he took out 90% of the money, but that's not a rug pull, apparently. He had to do it after all. The crypto markets were crashing, and if he didn't take out the money, who would?
The crypto market is crashing, and the $300,000 is in there. There's two options, right? Leave the money in there, and then if BNB goes down to like $100, the money goes to shit anyways, or I could take it, and the money is not just going to dust.
The
And
money
I'd
would have...
still,
Oh, I understand now. He was saving the coin. He took it so the price wouldn't go down further. That makes sense. He basically took the money because he knew the crypto was crashing, and then he just put it in his own wallet to keep it safe. I got you. I got you.
I
The money
still
would have
need-
never gone to dust. I mean, it just would go back to the investors when they sold out, when you told them, hey guys, I'm no longer interested in this project. I wiped my hands of it. You know, you got your 50K in, you got your 50K out. You're good, right? You didn't deliver. This is not your money. I can't believe you keep thinking of it as your money that's going away. That's your investors' money, and it should be their decision what they do with it.
Okay, I mean,
Well, technically it is his money because he pulled it out. It's just the investors should have known better. Don't get me wrong, he's a scammer. Like, this is a straight scam, but that's why I mentioned the power of influencers. It's crazy how this keeps happening, and all of these people get away with it. People are just so dumb in the crypto space sometimes. But yeah, this guy deserves to go to jail.
that's a fair point.
That's a fair point. Yet, despite all these fair points I kept making, every time Ice got cornered about the fact that he was basically stealing from his investors, he slowly pivoted his language from, oh, this isn't a rug pull, to more like, well, the investors deserved it. He said, They believe too much in his project and his word.
They're like, part of the responsibility is on them as well for being, putting too much emotion into it.
Now, look, I want to be clear. I agree that investing in any influencer coin is idiotic, but the logic here seems to be insane. They believe me, so it's okay. I scammed them. I asked Ice about this.
I don't know if you're trying to say they deserve it.
I want to mention that it is kind of the investor's fault because they should have known better. But Ice Poseidon, he's a big influencer, and that makes a big difference.
You're saying they owe some responsibility. I agree they owe some responsibility, but do they deserve to get ripped off?
No, I mean, nobody deserves that.
It's just what happened, though.
Like I said, sometimes you have to look out for yourself. I don't really know how else you want me to put it. I mean, you could say it in all these different ways to make it sound as horrible as possible. And you know what? I can agree with you on some of those things. I just don't like to put it in those specific ways because it makes it sound like that was the intention from the start, which it wasn't.
And there it is, the final refuge of every scammer. I started with good intentions. I meant to do the right thing. But I kept reminding Ice Poseidon or Paul or whatever, like his excuses made no sense because it wasn't as if the money was gone. It wasn't as if it had vanished. He still had it and could return it at any point. He doesn't have to go down as the scammer.
So I don't know why you're acting like it has to end with like you being the bad guy here. That's not what I'm trying to do at all. I'm trying to like get you to return the money because it's 100% still available and you could do that. So that's what I'm not understanding is I want to get to that point. I don't think we're going to get there.
If you want the answer, yeah, I could give the money back. It is within my power. But I'm going to look out for myself and not do that.
It makes sense. Just be aware, when it comes to making money, people don't want to work to make money. They want to just be given money. Nowadays, people are just lazy now. It's not back in the day when hardworking will earn you money. Nowadays, people are lazy. Scamming is common. And if you could make $1 million doing no work, people are going to do it. That's just the thing now. And it sucks because it's so easy to do that in crypto. Because look at all the other crypto scammers, like Save the Kids. No one went to jail. That's why crypto gets such a bad rap now, because it's so easy to scam people and no one gets punished for it because it's unregulated. But that's why I like this guy, because he's at least shedding light to that. And it sucks because there are actually real good coins, and those coins get pushed to the back because all these influencers come out with their own coins.
I don't know what else to say. That's just the most honest answer.
Now, I do believe he's being honest here. I believe this is the most mask off anybody's ever been on my channel. Most of the time when you get these guys on the phone, they just try to deflect and dodge. I don't think that's happening here. Ice is being 100% transparent, and I realized it was a unique opportunity to get the full story of how these scams work. Ice Poseidon proceeded to walk me through the details on exactly how long it takes to whip up an influencer scam like this and the profits you can expect from it.
Can you tell me how much money you made off this? I'll just call it a scam. I know you don't want to call it a scam, but it is a scam. So what did you make off this?
Well, I got 55% and then 45% went to my developers. So
the thing is, I don't understand why he's telling all this. If he's smart, he would just shut up. Why is he explaining this to Coffeezilla? He's either really dumb. I'm guessing he's telling all this because he already got away with it. Because obviously he's not going to go to jail. Crypto's unregulated. But it's so dumb sharing all this information. If I scammed a lot of people, I would just run away and shut up. The thing about social media like YouTube, people forget. After like a month or two, no one's going to remember this. But if he was smart, he would just shut up.
I don't know, probably like 300,000.
Nice. What a good profit from doing. I mean, how long did you work on this project? Like, seriously, how long did you work? I'm just curious.
Well, like you said, it was a fork, so I don't know, a couple weeks.
What do you plan to do with the money?
Invest into crypto, Ethereum, mainly.
Well, there you have it. For 2 weeks of work, forking someone else's program, you can get $300,000, which annualized is a pay rate of $7.8 million per year if he would just scam every 2 weeks. It's not hard to see the appeal.
Damn. I should have been a crypto coin creator. But of course I can't do that. Scamming is terrible. But it's so crazy how these people always get away.
Appeal, obviously, but what blew my mind is that he hadn't gotten away with this. Like, he got caught red-handed, and somehow I guess I was just expecting him to go, oh, well, okay, I guess I'll return the money now. But no,
Well, so he is wrong because he did get away with it because he got the money. And the thing is, nothing's going to happen to him because this happens all the time. So he did get away with it. The thing about influencers is he may lose some viewers, but there's always new viewers. There's always going to be new people. That's the thing. So in the end, he's still going to grow.
He just kept doubling down.
You are deciding to do the shitty thing. You know that, and you're still doubling down.
I am doubling down. Do you not agree, though, some of the responsibility is on people who, if you're still holding something that's inactive for months, like, sure, okay, maybe they, you know, have faith in me, whatever, but that's not a good...
That's your fans, dude. That's your fans. These are people who followed you since they were kids. They admire you. They look up to you. That's the people you're saying, well, that's their fault.
I honestly couldn't believe what he was saying here. Not that he didn't care. You know, I'm kind of used to that. But he clearly expects zero consequences for his actions, right? And this made me think that at least part of the reason for this might be because stories like Save the Kids, which got huge press, ultimately nothing happened. Don't get me wrong. It's important to get these stories out there anyway.
Yeah, see, so like I mentioned, Save the Kids, that was one of the biggest scams and nothing happened. So they got away, they made millions, and they just scammed so many people. It's crazy.
But you have to understand the inner workings of the greedy influencer. When you don't have law enforcement consequences for what is essentially theft and fraud, you end up with people like Ice Poseidon realizing they can do the same without consequence. And I'm not merely speculating here. This clip you're about to watch is of Ice Poseidon discussing with his partner, Moises, what happened to Sam Pepper, one of the leaders of Save the Kid. They don't talk as if he's a cautionary tale, but instead as if Sam Pepper had won, as if Sam Pepper had beat the system. He stole money and he got away with it.
I mean, I did watch that Coffeezilla video. I think Sam's a fucking millionaire now. So I think he still succeeded me. Although he got it in a very poor way. He made up like a bandit, bro.
Sam's probably a fucking lower life. Probably has like 3 million crypto. The dude broke his lease.
If you got a
Tesla, the dude paid like, what was it, 10 stacks to break his lease.
I don't know. Yeah, if you're breaking your lease and leaving the country, I mean, you
flew first class.
I mean,
to Europe.
If he really felt the need to do all that, then he probably made plenty of money.
I heard
Sam Pepper scammed people, but because he did it without going to jail, he's successful. He got away with it. That's how these people think. So is it any wonder when Ice Poseidon is caught also stealing money, his response is, oh, well, I'm just going to look out for number one. It's their fault for getting scammed. They shouldn't have believed me. He's just so obviously not afraid of getting caught. And why would he? In fact, I asked him about this fact, whether these things should be prosecuted, and he seemed to think that this was a wild idea.
Do you think the FBI should get involved with cases like this, or like the SEC, or do you think like people like you should be prosecuted?
No.
I can't say this.
I mean, it's obviously no. Why would he want to go to jail? Hey, Miner, I also created my own crypto coin. I'm not playing to scam people because it's a bad thing. Like in the beginning, I was just joking. I'm not going to make a coin. It's just crazy how influencers have this much power. And we've seen this in the past, and yet it's still happening. That's just crazy. That's just the power of influencers. These people just don't do any research when influencers talk about something sometimes. And I can't scam people. First of all, I believe in the afterlife. Me and my family, we're big Christian people, so we don't believe in scamming people because that's wrong. But I understand why people do this, because it's easy money and people are just getting more and more lazier and just don't want to do any more work. I read this article saying millennials don't want to work anymore and they just want to live off their unemployment. Man, the world is turning upside down. But anyway, don't buy any influencer coins. Those are all scams.
This enough. These guys aren't scared. They think they can do whatever they want. They'll just fork a coin, take $300,000, another $200,000, another $250K, and walk away, and screw you. What are you going to do about it? Oh, and by the way, in case you thought that this was just a matter of Ice Poseidon messing up once, I actually found old clips of him admitting to what seems to be some kind of credit card phishing scam.
I fished credit cards back when I was younger, dude. I didn't do anything with the credit cards because I was like afraid of going to jail.
But that time he didn't go through with it because he was afraid of the consequences. Well, that was then, and this was
That's true. If you fraud credit cards, that's straight jail time because that's all regulated. But in crypto, it's different because none of it is regulated. And in the past, this happened plenty of times and pretty much everyone got away with it when this happens. So he's not going to do the phishing credit card scams because he'll definitely go to jail for that.
Now he's not scared anymore. Ultimately, this whole conversation between me and Ice ended with us just sort of going in circles. Me pointing out that what he was doing was ethically wrong, him telling me that he agreed, but he essentially doesn't care. And I felt sort of like a failure afterwards, to be honest. I didn't achieve my goal of having Ice Poseidon return the money to his victims. However, a few hours afterwards, Ice Poseidon DM'd me one last time. He told me he wasn't going to give all the money back, but he was planning to give a little bit of it back, $155,000. Now, I want to be clear about this.
Damn.
Giving back $155,000 is better than nothing. It's good for the investors who hopefully will withdraw their money as soon as watching this video. But it's so obviously a last-minute Hail Mary for whatever is left of his reputation. It's kind of pathetic. I mean, to be clear, he's still keeping the bulk of the money. He knows that, and he knows that we know that. Remember, this still leaves him with taking $200,000 from the project at the start, another $250,000 from the marketing wallet, which went basically nowhere, and then $300,000 from the liquidity pool, of which he's saying, okay, I'll return $155,000. I don't know what this is supposed to demonstrate. Are people supposed to all of a sudden applaud as he gives a small fraction of what he took? Except, wait a minute, I just checked. Ice Poseidon doesn't even seem like he can do that much. After DMing me, I went to the Telegram and his admin updated everyone and said, we just finished a buyback of over 120 BNB rocket emoji, which is not $155,000. It's only $40,000. Now, whether Ice Poseidon has actual plans to put the rest in or, oh my gosh, return the full amount.
Come on. You actually expected him to return 155,000? I expected 0, but 40,000 is something, but damn. Once the scam is done, you're pretty much done. I'm surprised he even returned 40,000.
I really doubt it. It's just amazing to see that Ice seems to be doing this only because he got caught, sort of got interrogated for 30 minutes, and faces reputational damage, yet he still can't muster the moral courage, or at least fear, to return the small fraction of money he promised.
So the problem with reputational damage is reputation means nothing when it comes to these guys. Because like I mentioned, there's going to be new viewers, new people. People are going to forget. It's all about the money. And he ran away with like, what, $600,000? So he doesn't care. That's the thing. And he even mentioned it. He doesn't care about the investors. He's blaming it on the investors, which is somewhat correct because the investors should have definitely done their research. But influencers just have so much power sometimes. It's just crazy.
And so to close this, look, I'll be honest. In my opinion, Ice Poseidon is not a good person. I don't think he regrets anything or feels bad about any of this. And I think the unfortunate conclusion many other influencers will come to when looking at this is that Ice, like Sam Pepper, has finally made it. He's succeeded in the influencer game. He's gotten away with it. Or has he? There may still be ways to prevent stuff like this from happening. There are two things you can really do. Number one, you can share this video so more people become aware of what Ice did and get more eyeballs on it. But two, if anyone was scammed by CX Coin and lost money, they can report their losses to ic3.gov, linked below. This is the FBI submission portal if you've been defrauded or wronged. And if enough people report things like this, there's a chance people will be brought to justice. I just hope it happens sooner than later. That way I'll stop hearing about how influencers like Sam Pepper made it. Until then, all I can do is report, dig, and investigate. That's all for now. I'm Coffeezilla. Thanks for watching.
Well, there you have it. This is by Coffeezilla. This famous live streamer stole 500,000 from his fans. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a like. It's a good video. It's crazy how this thing keeps happening. People should figure this out sooner or later, but I feel like it's still gonna happen. Like next month, you're gonna see another influencer promote a coin. A month after that, you're gonna see another influencer promote a coin. It's not regulated. People are gonna get away with it. and nothing's gonna happen. And in the end, people are just gonna forget. But I don't expect this to end anytime soon, unless the government finally steps in and stops these people. But the thing is, when it comes to crypto, the influencers aren't actually forcing people to put money in. So I get it why it's not really the influencers' fault, because they're not forcing them, but the influencers have that much power, which is crazy. But definitely share this video because it could help a lot of people.